let's give
Okay.
Grayson a big 1, 2, 3.
Oh, shoot.
All right.
Good morning. My name is Grayson. This is my TED Talk. So I wanted to start today off by asking you all a question, and that question is, what do you think your biggest fear is? For some people, that may be spiders, or even snakes, or even worse, their mom on a Sunday morning asking them to do chores. However, on statistic recorded at 2.6 billion people worldwide and a third of the world, the biggest fear is actually the fear of failure. And so, what is failure? Failure, textbook definition, is the lack of success. What I think failure is not necessarily just the lack of success. This definitely has more meaning behind it, such as not living up to your life standard or not necessarily having life fulfillment in your life, along with taking negative things or taking experiences that have negative impact on you and letting that affect you for a prolonged amount of time. So I'd like to share a personal example. So around last year, May, I had to deal with two things. One, my grandpa's passing, or my Lolo's passing, and two, I got dumped. So I never expected myself to be in this position of grieving two things at once, because not only did I care for two people, it was so unimaginable, to the point where during the summertime, I felt so unmotivated to do things, just laying in my bed and not having the right appetite because I barely could even eat. And yeah, so this carried on until the first semester of this year, so senior year, and I didn't do well in my math classes due to my my lack of motivation, and it affected me so much that although I understood the content in math, I failed again and again and again. And this brought me to believe and kind of reinforced negative self-talk, saying that I wasn't a good enough student and that, I wasn't meant to be in a college level course at the time, or this year. Around second semester, I tried out for the volleyball team because prior years I did play on the volleyball team for Logan. However, I did not make it this year. And once again, that reinforced the negative idea that I had, that I was not good enough and that I was a bad athlete, I was a bad student, and that's why I didn't make it. So I asked myself and peers, what should I do? Well, first of all, my peers said, Grayson, your grades don't define you. And I think looking back at that has so much influence on how we determine our worth, because grades do not define you, because when you look at your grades, you're not necessarily looking at a holistic sense of yourself, meaning that, okay, yeah, grades may value like partially who you are as a student, but that doesn't matter, or that doesn't account for everything you do in class. Secondly, I realized that I had to kind of wake up and snap out of it, thinking about why do I keep like downing on myself, why? And I had to kind of account for that, like this negative self-talk that I had wasn't necessarily healthy, meaning like kind of like the negative paradox, as Gorev once mentioned, like whatever you say and whatever you think of, such as like, if I think I'm a bad student or if I think I'm a bad athlete, that's only going to happen because I'm manifesting that kind of relationship into my life. So after that, I started asking my peers to study to improve my classwork and math, and I got the opportunity also to kind of coach volleyball at a middle school, and that's this picture. And to me, that meant so much to me because not only did it allow me to continue my volleyball journey, but it allowed me to share a passion for younger people, to younger people. And I feel like as a society, we should take three things away maybe. One is that failure isn't absolute. In the moment, it may feel like it's the end of the road. However, there is so much we can do with failure to optimize it, meaning we can inspire ourselves or even others as long as we understand how to recover from it. Second, the negative self-talk for yourself does not do anything better for you, because in the end, you're just doubting your own abilities and possibly just manifesting those ideas. And third, as a society, I believe that we collectively kind of undermine our values with these grades and letters or numbers, because as a student, getting an AAC or F, whatever it may be, kind of just says really nothing about you, but to us students, it means a lot, because that means if we're passing or not. Same with the workforce, because a lot of people have these times where they're asking themselves, why am I not as good as this person? But that person has had 5 years over them, meaning they get more pay. So they look at their pay and they compare themselves, then robbing their joy in life. But yeah, thank you.